All right, guys. So let's talk about marketing and how you can improve the marketing for your Shopify store. So as per usual, I created a few nice slides, which will hopefully be helpful. The first one, I just put together the main marketing channels all in one slide, just I think to give an overview. Most people know about this, but I think it's just good to see everything on one slide and be aware of all the different options you have. Just quickly going through them, and again, hopefully you're already familiar with all of those. This is nothing crazy, but I think where it gets interesting is which combination of channels you decide to focus on and when, and kind of where do you lean into at what stages of your store. So starting off with paid marketing, I just talked about that, right? And our vulnerability to some of actually the paid marketing. Of course, each one has pros and cons, right? There is no one right answer. And I think a much bigger point, hopefully already the slide in and of itself tells you this, is the diversification between channels, especially actually when you're small. And I actually think there a lot of people, only do TikTok or only do Facebook and Instagram ads, and they miss out on a lot of the other channels where, they could be also obviously, first of all, diversifying the revenue streams for that store, be way less volatile because of that diversification, and just have a more resilient store and more resilient revenues. But choose not to. And again, there's always a trade-off, because if you are leaning into, your strength specifically into TikTok, that's also fine. But I think you need to be aware of those trade-offs. Anyway, so you have paid channels. Obviously, you have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Google, which I didn't even put here. But all the big platforms, them, have paid marketing channels, which you can obviously run for your Shopify store. Right there, I think it's important for you to really understand, is your product more pull marketing or push marketing? Many stores can actually be both, but obviously, the classic push marketing is like on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, where you really focus on the creative and the content. I have a separate video on that, where you really excite new customers who didn't even know about the product potentially, or in any case, you excite them to check out the product even though they weren't specifically searching for it in the first place, right? Versus pull marketing, where they are specifically searching for the product, for example, on Google, and then you have Google search ads that then lead them to your website and to your product page. The flip side of paid marketing is obviously organic. I just, again, added it as kind of an umbrella term here. Organic is obviously massive in and of itself. And again, you can do organic on each one of those channels, right? I think right now, TikTok organic is obviously kind of quite in the trend, right? Back in the day, it was Facebook and Instagram. And before that, it could have been many other platforms. Obviously, the attention in terms of where you can post organically changes. And here the trade-offs are very clear, right? Like paid marketing, obviously, you can start spending money, you need capital, and you can start spending money. But then if obviously you have a high ROAS, right, so high, ROI essentially on the marketing dollars you're spending, you can scale up very quickly. And you can, scale up very quickly to the stores that I, for example, just showed you now, making a couple of 100,000 revenue per month. Organic is where you need way less capital, right, but way more effort on your side, or again, the people you're working with, to actually create a lot of different content, post it organically. And it's a much longer and tedious process, right? Where, however, you don't need the capital, but you can still, get traction eventually by essentially posting enough engaging content organically and hopefully driving traffic to your website like that. And again, hopefully you do both, and we'll get into that as well. You obviously have email marketing. In any case, once you start doing paid and organic, hopefully people coming on your website, you start collecting emails, which is also obviously very classic, and I'm not going to spend much time on that. We, for example, use Klaviyo, which is very common for Shopify, but obviously you should also do email marketing. I mean, it's actually more remarketing, right? Although you can also send emails to new customers as well, and that's a bit of a separate topic. You have affiliate marketing. We use GoF Pro on our website. We also use external affiliate platforms for that. You obviously have influencer marketing. Again, influencer marketing doesn't need to be like classic, Instagram influencers. It can, again, now be on TikTok. It can be anywhere. It can be people who are even writing blogs or reviews about, your kind of niche. It can really be any sort of person who already has some sort of audience and some sort of following, regardless on which platform, that you can kind of partner up with and pay them on, either on a per post basis, where again, it also ultimately boils down to you paying them on a CPM basis, or just again, how expensive is it going to be to show your ad to 1,000 people if the influencer does it on your behalf, versus you directly spending those marketing dollars on the channels. Of course, you have SEO, on-site, off-site. I'm not going to touch on that. That's a bit of a longer game as well. Probably not where you're going to start off. And anyway, if you get enough traffic and traction over time, your SEO will also improve automatically. And other, I put in other again also as an umbrella term. Why? Because I think you always need to be kind of looking out what's out there, being on the frontier, right? There's obviously many other many other things I didn't mention. You can go on Pinterest, you can you can discover all kinds of, even like all kinds of different ways to advertise, even within Google, right? I mean, you have shopping campaigns and you have display campaigns and you have all kinds of remarketing campaigns that are different, right? So I think the point is always to keep your eyes open, like see where the attention is flowing to, right? I mean, very classically, we just had a pretty big shift, I would say, from Facebook and Instagram to TikTok over the last couple of years. And then, again, YouTube Shorts now competing with TikTok in terms of that kind of shorter attention span type of content, right? So you have those general macro trends, which I think a lot of people have already said a lot of things about, but obviously keeping an eye out on those is also crucial, right? And the point is trying to diversify across those as much as possible. Hey, before you bounce, consider subscribing to our channel, but only if you've actually enjoyed the video and found at least a few valuable things for your Shopify store. Also, check out our free Shopify app, Trackidex. We have a link in the description below. We're developing new features literally every day, and we're also excited to actually hear your feedback on some of the next features we should develop. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.